starting out a little higher than usual. I usually don't like to drive too far to start hiking, but today I came up to Second Dam in Logan Canyon, and you can see the sun hasn't quite risen. It is a beautiful morning. There is a cool breeze that is so welcome after this very, very hot summer. But I just wanted to show you something. I'm hoping that there's enough light, but it's the week before school starts at the university, and typically this place would be hip hopping. And today there's just 2 cars in the parking lot. It's eerie and it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of nice for me because I don't like being around a lot of people. Oh, there goes a cat. Holy moly. I'm not sure what the cat's doing up here, but probably a stray living in the campground. So anyway, 2 cars in the whole parking lot. And I'm guessing it's because of COVID. And people are just afraid to go camping. It seems like of all things, the camping would be the thing people would feel comfortable doing. And I don't know. I don't think it bodes well, but I'm going to head onto the trail, find some freedom. This is just one of the many little trails that goes down to the lake, or I guess it's a dam, to fish. Isn't that glorious? There's a kind of a marsh over here, cattails, and oh, that breeze, it feels amazing. And let me pan up so you can see the mountain. Beautiful. This is a really nice trail. It's flat, so it's not a super strenuous trail, but it kind of goes up and down a little bit, just very gradually, and it does dip down by the river, and then it goes up into the woods a bit. So if somebody, wants to hike but doesn't want to do a really strenuous hike, this is a really good option. And it does tend to be a little bit more shady than some of the other trails, so it's nice on a hot day. And it's beautiful. I love this, the way this tree stump looks. Isn't that just gorgeous? So pretty. It's amazing to me how beautiful things can be out here. There's that bird. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it's making a bit of a racket. Fork in the trail. And I know if I go down the lower trail, I'll stay near the water, and it'll be nice and cool and fresh. This trail actually connects to a trail that is called Crimson Trail, and it goes up along the ridge of the mountainside. It's really steep. I'm not sure which one to pick. I think I'm gonna, well, I always try to stay on the trail less traveled, and I believe that will be this one. I'm not sure if that's a good criteria for picking a trail, because I do like being by the water, but I also prefer to be on a trail where there aren't other people. I'm glad I chose to come this way now instead of waiting a couple weeks, because this trail is just loaded with burdock, and it's dripping over the trail, and I've never seen so much. And in another, say, maybe a week, 2 weeks, I would be absolutely covered with this. This is what I think maybe where it either got its name from burrs or burrs got its name from burdock, because it is tenacious. It will just grab onto you if you just barely even touch it. So it's still green now, and it doesn't, it's not sticking to me, but I'm sure in another week I would be covered, and I probably would have turned around, because it's just no fun getting covered with burrs. But this is a nice hike. I can't decide if I should go up more or turn around. It's pretty steep, but I kind of want to see if there's a view up here. So this is where the trail articulates, this back trail articulates with Crimson Trail, and of course I came much further than I intended to, but what a magnificent view. It's always easier going up than down for me, and I tend to get myself in trouble because I start going up and forget. So my car, the parking lot is way over there, around where that bend in the road is. That's where my car is. So I came quite a ways, and down there is is one of the places where they store water for Logan City. And then this is up on that ridge there is Crimson Trail, and it's glorious. It's definitely worth the hike. So as I was hiking, I had a couple thoughts. One was that I always call first and second and third dam here in Logan Canyon first and second and third dam. But then I started wondering, it's not really a lake, it must be a reservoir. But I always think of reservoirs as being big, huge bodies of water. So I guess I'm just going to stick to calling it Logan Dam. First dam, second dam, third dam. The other thing that I was thinking about was how very strange it is that people are so scared of COVID. And I understand that it's a serious disease, but it seems like people aren't living anymore. And to me, I would much rather live and then die than not live and not live and not live. And that living in fear, I feel like, is just sort of pervading the country right now. And it's sad. It's wonderful for me because I get the mountains to myself. But it makes me sad when I see an empty parking lot and know that people are afraid to even come camping, come hiking. There's something really wrong. And I don't believe that there's any risk whatsoever in catching COVID when you're hiking or camping. So that fear has just gripped people in a way that is really unhealthy. And I hope people move through that quickly because it's important to get outside and enjoy this beautiful earth we have. It's a wonderful place. Get out and enjoy it. Probably anybody who's watching this is already getting out and enjoying it, so I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but you know what I mean. Rather than going back the way I came, I'm actually going to go down the trail for Crimson. It's very steep, but it's a different trail, and I kind of like that. And then I'll loop back around to the trail that I was on that went along the second dam. So it's going to be a nice hike. And I know I've talked about the wind a couple of times, but after this hot summer, I can't tell you how good it feels to just have that little hint of coolness in the air. I'm at another crossroads, and you can see this sign says Crimson Trail, 3 miles. And let's come over here and see what this sign says. So this is called the Riverside Nature Trail, Spring Hollow, 1.4 miles. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And if you keep going down that trail, you'll come to, I believe it's Gwen of a Malibu campground. And we're going to head back this way. And I realized, I think in the introduction, I said that I was at second dam, but it's really third dam. And the reason I make that mistake a lot, because first dam is so forgettable. I never go there. It's just sort of this water, nothing very interesting. And so I often forget that that's first dam, and then where I started this hike is and then there's another one, and this is third dam. So this is the last of the dams in Logan Canyon, and I believe that they're hydroelectric. That's why they were built. So had to clarify that. And if I make that mistake again, I'm sorry. I just, for some reason, always forget about first dam. I was hoping I would find some. I didn't bring any water with me, so I'm pretty excited to find an elderberry bush. And I'm just going to grab a few just to wet my whistle. I don't usually hike with water. And I know a lot of people feel like they have to go everywhere with water, but usually I don't need it. Usually I'm fine if I just go on a hike and then drink when I get back to the car. But these are going to hope, well, they're just yummy. So maybe it's just an excuse. Maybe it's just an excuse to eat some elderberries. Probably. Look at this bog. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. It's so pretty. Look at that. So even though this is mountain desert, there are a few natural springs and areas where the river is sort of turned into a bog like this. So it's not all dry. So pretty. So, in order to get back, this says trail closed. So, of course, I'm gonna have to go across it to get back. That's what happens when you take side routes and loop arounds. And, you know, I think they have to close the bridge because it's, you know, probably somebody might sue if they were to get hurt. But, oh, this is pretty interesting, actually. Look what's happened up here. This is why they closed the trail. We had a big bit of rock slide here. Really did some damage to this trail. I'm glad I wasn't here. I could have done some serious damage to a person. So that's why the trail's closed. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, or how well you'll be able to hear me with these noisy birds. But I have the camera pointing to the wind cave, which is, I'm going to try and go there one of these days. See if I scroll in. There it is. You can see that hole, and that's a natural cave. It's pretty neat, but truth be told, I like the trail, but I don't usually go to the wind trail. I usually go to this outcropping of rocks, and there's a tree there that I sit under to have a picnic. And again, it's because everybody's going to the wind cave. Nobody's going to that little tree to have a picnic. Coming to the end of the trail, and I really like this little bridge. Isn't it cute? And look at how beautiful that is. That moss, and that sound, the nice sound of the water. So that's the end of the trail, but I did want to show you a couple other things up this way. So I'm at the end of the trail, and I didn't notice this when I was coming in because it was dark, but it turns out there is a sign. So at the very trailhead, but I didn't notice it, and you know, I don't really think it needed to be closed. Just caution. Just be careful when you're crossing where the rock slide is. I really like this little waterfall that goes over the road. And if you got little kids or dogs, it's a great way to run through the water and cool off. And then over this way is just a peek onto Third Dam. So that was the Spring Hollow to Crimson Trail loop. And I looked at my my little pedometer, and it looks like it was about 3 miles, just a little bit under 3 miles. Very, very strenuous hike for a very short amount of time, and the rest of it pretty much flat. Just wanted to show you what this looks like. That hike took me about an hour, and so the sun's come up, and it's still pretty early in the morning. Just an absolutely glorious morning. But this is an hour later, and you know, if you have time and you're in Logan, I would highly encourage Spring Hollow. There's a lot of different trails here, and there's a lot of water, and so it's cooler than other trails are during the hot summer, and greener. Although you can see on that mountainside, still can be, you know, typical desert mountain kind of terrain. But let me just spin around here and show you the rest of it before I leave. And this is the river that'll head down to the dam, and one of these days I'll actually show you the dam. So thanks for joining me.